You're watching VH1's 8 Days of 80s, a week so big, we added an extra day.
Music videos were born. The synthesizer made these sound, and artists like Culture Club, Wang Chung hit it big. Welcome back to the 80s. Hey! Hi, I'm John Taylor, and this is Then and Now. Remember me? More of my Duran Duran days a little later. First, VH1's asked me to take a trip back to the 80s. We've caught up with some of our favorite bands to find out where they've been, what they're doing, and if they're still making music. Trust me, there will never be another decade quite like the 80s. And while the music was changing, so were the styles. In the 80s, making a fashion statement meant anything from wearing wigs, lots of makeup, and dresses, even if you were a man.
I just wear what I want to wear. Sometimes I wear wigs, sometimes I wear hats. You know, I mean, I'm like a sort of, you know, $6 million pop star.
People confuse the fact that you dress up, they think you're feminising yourself. You're just changing yourself, really. Men don't have that much chance to express themselves dress-wise. I reserve the right to do that, whatever job I do.
Coming up, some things never change, or do they? Check out Dead or Alive, Then and Now. Another band who's still performing and putting out new music is Dead or Alive. Lead singer Pete Burns struggled with success in the 80s. But in the 90s, he's updated his approach to music and his looks. They're not called glam for nothing. They got the clothes, the hair, the makeup and the sound that's captivated audiences worldwide for nearly 2 decades. And nothing about Dead or Alive is boring, especially not their music.
Our music is a mixture of pop music, dance, techno, rock music. It's a unique fusion, and there's nobody that sounds like we sound. There's nobody who makes records like we make.
It was their 1985 record, Youthquake, that catapulted the band to the front page and the top of the charts. And no one was more surprised by their instant success than Dead or Alive.
Well, I didn't believe we would ever have any mainstream commercial success. I never believed we'd get a #1 record. And when it did happen, my first thought was, oh, God, what's going to happen now?
Well, what happened was years of touring, numerous albums, and a staying power that's carried them through the 90s. Their latest CD, Nuclear Patra, includes a cover of David Bowie's Rebel Rebel and a 90s remix of their 80s hit, You Spin Me Round. You spin me right round, baby, right round, like a record, baby, right round.
There's been a great demand from a lot of people for us to re-release the track. It's one of the records in the 80s that kind of shook the world and changed the face of dance music.
And change is what Dead or Alive's Pete Burns does best.
Of course I look different now than I did 10, 12 years ago. People evolve and they change themselves. It's like living in an apartment and you might get bored with the apartment, so you'll paint the wall a different colour.
While their looks continue to evolve, one thing remains constant for the band: a loyal following.
We play 55,000 Tokyo Dome. That's the normal size. But we like to play small venues. That's why we come back and kind of gone back to basics.
We can make a good living just going out and playing to people. We still have a very hardcore base of fans who come to see us. I don't really want another #1 again. If it happens, it just happens. But I'm not hungry for it in the 90s.
It's been great. We're still doing what we want to do. We have complete control over what we want to do. You know, that's the way your career should be.
Like Dead or Alive, there were a lot of artists from the 80s who learned that having control is more important than having success. And the key is finding the balance.